Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome, family caregivers, agents and thrivers, to Lana's Little Things. It's me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, and we're going to talk tonight on a subject that just comes up no matter what: family dynamics. Oh boy, in caregiving, you know how that goes. If you're a family caregiver, you know what I'm talking about. If you're just in a family with where someone's being taken care of, mom, dad, some cases spouse, but where families are involved, you know what I'm talking about. The need for peacemaking, the the struggle with resentment, the struggle with communication, the struggle with boundaries, the struggle with the debates between who's doing what, who's doing more, who's doing less, who's doing nothing, who never calls, who always comes around, the sides, the picking, it's not my fault. Yes, it is your fault. Oh boy. So we're gonna just talk about making peace, literally, just the title, Making Peace in Family Caregiving tonight. Well, tonight my time, so good morning, good evening, good night. Here we go. And remember, this is a channel where we talk about all things on living agelessly, bridging generational gaps, family caregiving, entrepreneurship, life itself. It's spread across the world. We want to share it. It's a topic that is so needed, especially family caregiving and the aging process. And for those of you who are with me, welcome. Please bring a friend. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and phone a friend and join in the discussion. Put down your comments at the end if you have a query or you're not certain. And also remember, you feel free to Zoom. I'll leave the link below. Zoom me for a free 15-minute discussion if you are an overwhelmed family caregiver and you just like on your last legs and you want to know, okay, am I gonna make it? All right, so here we go. Peacemaking and family caregiving. Like the impossible dream, the impossible task. But especially when, and I've seen this 1,000 times, and you know it too. No matter how many people are involved, it always seems to always boil down to one or two main family caregivers. Is that a bad thing? Well, no, because you don't want the person, especially if they have dementia, to be confused. Too many people in and out, too many people making conflicting decisions. But family's gonna have its own DNA. Family, you want everyone to feel involved. Everyone's idea of what involved is different, and so we really need to have a discussion and a regard and an understanding, even if we disagree, of each other's boundaries and roles. Establish clear roles as well. So let's just do three. And it may seem like a little bit, but it can make a whole huge difference between the simmering resentment. They never call when they're calling now. Nobody ever checks, for mom or dad. They only check when something's wrong, or they only turn up whenever. Or I don't even know when they're going to turn up. I'm here all by myself doing everything. You know? Sound familiar? Uh-huh. So let's make peace. How? We establish clear communication. I said that before, but how can we do that? Guard your well-being and your boundaries. Boundaries. Not walls, but fences. Because we don't want to block blessings. We want to seek external support if necessary. All right, but let's do the main ones, yeah? Establish clear communication. This comes again from, starts with defining the role. Who's going to do what? Who's going to take care of finances? Who's going to take care of the physical bit? Who's going to remain? Who may have to switch jobs? Who may have to alter their job? Maybe quit their job? Who's closer to the person being in care, needing care? That isn't always straightforward. Who can practically do it? So there's some, I know for sure, who said, "Not cleaning. You see the cleaning? I can't do that. But I can contribute to the groceries, and I can do the shopping, and I can pay the bills, and I can get this done. I can take you for a ride. I can spend 2 hours with mom or dad while you go get some rest. Establish clear communication so that everybody knows what role they're playing. Otherwise, it just builds up with resentment. It's like, you're never here. Yes, I am. You never call. Yes, I do. Ugh. And it's back and forth and it's playground politics. We really don't want that. Because the only person that will not get the best of what we really want for them is our loved one. You know, how ironic. So define your roles. However, it's going to be split. Who's going to do what? Who's going to come? Who's going to come when? How often they're going to come? Who's responsible for the bills? And then have a double check. Have a rehash. Have a summary maybe at the end of a week so that everyone is on the same page. If you really feel like something went wrong that week, or you're really feeling a simmering resentment towards something, so it's building up because it's been there for long, you know, you've been with your siblings your whole, well, you grew up with your whole life. You got DNA for life. So there are things that you're going to do similar, and there are things that you're going to do that you don't even realize are precisely what your sibling will do that will irritate them, and they will irritate you. So when that happens, and there's a discussion, as opposed to you always see with the fingers pointing, it feels accusatory. I actually feel guilty just doing this. So let's use, the statements. I feel when you don't call, it makes me feel as though you don't care about mom. That too might create but it's the way it's said. It's how it's said. It's when it's said. So you know what? Maybe when they come around, have a drink, sit down. Don't say, I need to talk to you. That won't work. Trust me, it don't work. And it makes them come less, for sure. And then you get the spiral. And you get overwhelmed, and the resentment builds up. So when discussing, allow each person to have their talking time, and then meet in the middle. You don't have to agree, meet in the middle. So that's that. Clear communication. And this is just family members. We'll talk about how we deal with discussing with our loved ones differently. But we want to just establish the peace in the family so that, because your loved ones, trust me, dementia or not, they can feel the energy of a negative or a positive vibe. And negative vibes really, they can stop eating, they can stop drinking, they can be very agitated, and you wonder why. They can feel the energy in the room. So number 2, this brings us to boundaries. Guarding, especially as main family caregiver and everybody else, guard your well-being, guard your boundaries, guard them with your life. Not setting up walls to block everybody out. I don't want anybody here, or y'all don't do this. Again, no you statements, I statements. You can't pour from an empty cup. If caregiving is becoming overwhelming for you, it means a revision of your boundaries. It means a revision of guarding the most important person in the story, which is really not actually the person you're taking care of. It's the caregiver. Because without the caregiver, there's no care. So burnout is real. Protect your mental health. Protect your physical health. Guard it with your life. But build your fences with your family members. 2 ways. Prioritizing your self-care. And you don't say, well, you know what? Tuesday is my day and somebody gonna fill in because I'll be gone. That ain't gonna work neither. So again, communication. So you set your daily habits, you set your schedule, and then you say, you know what? I can really need a day or 3 hours here. And then fill in and message or call and say, can you do this for me? Can you do this for mom? Can you do this for dad? Can you help me here? Can you help me there? You know what it actually does to the person you've called or communicated with? That they too feel a part of the journey. And they too may be feeling resentment or feeling guilt. I can't help mom. I can't help dad. There's nothing I can do. You're doing, my sister, my brother is doing everything. What am I doing? And they feel badly in their own way too. They're not going to say it in that sort of way. But just grace with the space. Everyone just needs that. But make sure that you prioritize your self-care, schedule it, and then have a discussion on how Others can fill in the blanks for you, with you. And second, that also brings us to realistic expectations. Again, not the I can do this, I can do this. When I'm off, I'm gonna do this, this, this. I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go stuff for myself. I'm gonna go on a staycation for 2 days. Somebody's gonna have to deal with it. No, you can't. And you know what? I'm gonna do the laundry. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You can't do everything all at the same time. Same as if I can't focus here on my finger and I can't focus on the camera at the same time. I just can't. I'll go dizzy. I was going dizzy. Oy. Realistic expectations. You cannot do everything. You cannot control also how your family members act. Nobody can control anybody else. The only control we have is on ourselves. So deep breath, my deep breath, box breathe, drink some water, and then go back in the conversation. So guard your boundaries gently. Guard your well-being carefully. Communicate clearly. The third thing, final, is seek external support if necessary. Sometimes you may need a mediator. Sometimes you may need maybe the family doctor, the gerontologist, the social worker, the nurse, paid caregiver, if that's possible for you. Sometimes it just becomes a little too complex and you may need to get the respite care for mom or dad or your spouse and agree to say, well, okay, we're going to pay for at least a day to do that. Bear in mind that may create delirium and confusion in the person with dementia. And there's a guilt that comes with that too. So it's something you have to really discuss. But definitely, you may need a mediator. And we're not talking about a referee. Talking about a mediator where we can't see eye to eye. Maybe somebody who's neutral, like a cousin, or just chat. The doctor, the social worker, the nurse, especially. Where is the primary friction here? Who is that? Let's all sit down and meet in the middle. So, from my heart to yours, as always, family caregiving ain't easy. No day, no how. It's a lot of hard work. It's the hardest work there is, some say. Emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, dynamics, person, you see your loved one decline, sadness, loneliness, grief, anticipatory grief, real grief. It's a lot. It's a lot. So grace for the space, communicate, set your boundaries, seek external support if necessary. Trust this was helpful again. Press notification bell, put your comments, what challenges you the most and what worked. And we'll see you in a better space the next time. So from my heart to yours, Dr. Lana, just keep going. You matter. It matters. It really does matter. Mwah. Good morning, good evening, good night.